So you hold the branch at the butt end and you're cutting away from yourself downwards. It's always tricky a little bit up here. Just choke up on the machete so you can be very accurate. Not hit your fingers. And then you're just looking for where the branch forks. You try to cut around there so everything that you cut can lie flat on the ground. And then if you're on contour, you can leave a Y or a little branchlet coming off the side, and that one's going to point downhill, so it will prevent it from rolling. Stabilize so that when you're walking later on, you won't fall and roll down the hill. So that's it. That's a 12 or 14 inch machete, and the one-handed saw can help you break down pretty much almost any size tree, really. That is the system I've used for cutting about half of these trees out and mulching the ground with all of the branch wood. So we've removed no branch wood here, but we've got quite a few nice poles. More up there, more over there, more to remove. Poles over 7-8 centimeters in diameter have very low nutrient value, so you're not robbing from the system to remove them much. A little bit of bark, but yeah, anything branch wood under 5 centimeters has most of the 70-80% of the nutrients in the trees, depending on the species, but most of all the nutrients are in the leaves and the small twigs and the very small branches. So if those all stay on the ground as they have here, and it's a perfectly walkable, you break them down with the machete as far as you need so that you can walk through comfortably. Here's like one of those Ys. This makes it so the pile doesn't move. You break it down enough so that it's comfortable to walk on, and that's sufficient for this. You can go, if the wood is something that breaks down really quickly, you can leave it a little bit more coarsely. But these are sort of senescent old branches, and so even the small branches are pretty high carbon. It's kind of hard to explain, but only a little bit of new growth is on these. The second and third year branches don't have as much nitrogen and other nutrients in there, so these will be a little bit slower to break down than a pollard. Next year, when I pollard these, the regrowth, if I cut this up here, the regrowth, like it is in that one, that's all fresh this year's growth, and that'll all break down super quickly. But anyway, the breakdown rate has to do with the carbon to nitrogen ratio. More nitrogen relative to carbon breaks down quicker. So anyway, it doesn't have to be too daunting. The toolkit is not that complicated, and you can break down or metabolize a huge amount of woody biomass and have it organized, laying on the ground in a way that's not taking up any space, but adding a lot of nutrition. So I'll talk about the plan for planting in here at some point later on, but this is just about how to manage all the branch wood. And just for reference, this is what this looks like now. It has a little bit of thinning left to go, and this is roughly what it looked like before. And this side will get transformed next year using the same kind of model.